as far as like you getting into coaching, what fears did you have at first? Like here you're going to launch this online business, you know what I mean? You're going to make this investment. I mean, I remember talking to you and you weren't just like, sign me up, let's do it right now.
Yeah, I will say in the beginning, so there was a couple of things. The money was one, right? Right? It seems to be, it's a big investment initially, it felt like anyway, right? For the unknown or not understanding, because I had previously coached some people or some friends and family, and knowing just how difficult it was with the system that I was using and kind of prescribing meal plans and stuff and trying to be creative and come up with things for them. While it works, it was really a draining, right? There was a lot of energy that was going into that on one side, and then they just walk away because I didn't charge anybody at the time. And so I didn't know how that aspect was going to work and how I could potentially take on enough people to help a big enough crowd, as well as keep myself, energy levels high. And then the other was putting myself out there, right? I'd not really been that active in social media. I'd not made posts. I'd not made videos. I'd never done a live video up to that point. And so it was just really bizarre to me. I mean, as an engineer, I'm in front of people in meetings all the time, so that really wasn't a big deal. But when you're doing a live, it feels different because now you feel exposed to everybody online. And it being a live video, you could screw up and, everybody sees you do it, so you can't really take it back. So that was a big fear, I guess, was both the initial investment and what's the systems and processes in place to help the coaches do their job. And make that kind of initial investment back, as well as just the social aspect. How do I put myself out there and brand myself as the nutrition guy that they want to work with? How are they going to trust?
That's a great. So how did you work through that? Because I kind of knew your story, but I mean, I see you doing lives all the time now. It's like you've been doing it for years, So how did you kind of just overcome that block, if you will?
Well, some of it was, I think back in, was it end of December, after we first started working a little bit together. Went through some mindset training. And I was in a real negative space for a long time, and because of just stagnation at work and stuff in terms of my career. And I just had kind of gotten to a point where I said, enough's enough. I need to find something to grow. I need to change. So I was like, God was put me in a place, prime me for change. And so I was just kind of like, all right, God, show me what you got. Let's do this. And I was really uncomfortable. And I told my wife after my first live that I did, just kind of introducing what I'm doing and why. I mean, it was a long video for one. When I got off and my heart was like pounding, the adrenaline was going, just kind of shaking. My hands shook for a good 30 minutes after the first video. And it just took repetition, right? Mm-hmm. Doing it over and over, and then building habits. So, positive habits with the posts and things, right? Trying to get out there every day, a little bit of value, and not thinking about helping everybody, but that one person who might need help, right? It's like thinking about it like I'm having a conversation with that one person. Maybe I can make that one person a difference in their day.
Man, I love that. And, I like what you were saying about just not growing. It's kind of like what people would see as a setback, you saw as a setup, but it was, a set. You hear you're doling out money. You know what I mean? You're in a position where you just don't feel like you're growing. If you fast forward from December to now, where are you as far as like personal growth, financial growth, level of impact? How do you feel that you're growing at this point?
Well, I know with the coronavirus, it's kind of thrown things into some weird twilight zone in some aspects. But I would say impact-wise, I have 8 clients, which in the beginning, that was my target, right? Now, knowing what I know and being as familiar with the system as I am, I'm working to grow that to, I'd like to at least try to double, if not go more than double that. So I'm in the process of doing that. In terms of personal growth, I mean, my social impact or influence, I've over doubled my following or my friends list, which helps me to reach out more. touch more people, and get more feedback, right? So I will say in terms of the financial side, I've made my money back very fast, really, and doing all right. I've had some weird hiccups here and there, right, which is with any business, but doing well. I guess I don't know how to really capture that. I'm not at that 10K figure or anything like that a month, right? It's 8 clients.
Yeah, and I think people have different goals. Like you mentioned, your goal initially is, hey, I want 8 clients, and we have people that do this on the side. We have people that they want to do it full time. So it's not performance-based acceptance.
Right.
With MacroMillionaire, we just want to see people growing in all realms. And yeah, if that means making 10K a month or 20 or whatever, fantastic. But we don't want that to be at the expense of their marriage, their physical, because now they just own a job.
Right. Yeah, and that was I guess that was the other aspect of what I was setting out to do, was to provide more financial freedom for my family.
Yeah.
To feel let's just face it, I hadn't been on a vacation in 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And I never felt comfortable enough to go out and do so with my family. And so we were just getting to that point right before I started the business to where we could start to save some money and build that snowball, right?
Yeah.
And this has just helped to build that snowball even faster and give me the confidence and to know that I can go out and do those things and enjoy more family time and still be able to pay the bills just fine, right? Which I was doing okay before. I don't want to make it sound like I wasn't.
Right. No. Well, I mean, 8 clients at, say $200 a client. That's what, I don't know, $1,600 a month minus some expenses. So call it $1,200. And man, that's a trip to Disneyland every month.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. So what are your future goals? Where do you mentioned 8 to 16. So it sounds like you're enjoying this lifestyle that you're enjoying, and it's something that you maybe want to put even more time and energy into.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm working on trying to set up ways to set myself up to hopefully down the road, at least make myself make the decision. Do I want to stay engineering full time with this as a side gig, or change this to my main gig?
Wow. That's impactful.
I'd like to get to that point where I can make that call.
Yeah, wow, that's awesome, man. And this is something that I think that maybe we could talk through outside of this interview, but I just, with the level of quality and polish that you have, I mean, maybe even doing like a mastermind group for more higher ticket or exclusive type clients, I could see the direction your business kind of taking, because I think what you have as an entrepreneur that that a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with is you're when I asked you, hey, who is your perfect client? You knew, hey, it's someone driven, someone professional. They're not playing games. This is a priority for them. Where a lot of people are like, well, I want to help everyone, and that sounds good, but we know that we have different personalities and we're not able to help everyone.
Right. And some of that, when you first start out and you first start taking your initial clients, you kind of have to open the doors to just about everyone.
Sure.
To really focus in on what that avatar looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. And being able to have all the tools to do that is awesome. But I like when I see an entrepreneur like yourself evolve to be like, hey, cool, I've opened the doors to everyone, and I can still do that if I want to. But really being able to work with that special someone that that you could have the most impact with, I think that's true freedom.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, whether it's financial freedom, time freedom, or just freedom to unshackle ourselves and be ourselves with whether it be a client or our wives or whatever, to me, those are the three elements of freedom that I aspire to get to.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna conclude it here. But Thomas, I appreciate it. I only have one more question. So if you had a coach, knowing what you know now, if you can go back to Thomas of back in, I don't know, December or whatever, when you're kind of looking at the program, what would you tell that person?
Don't hesitate.
All right. It's like that first step.
Jump on the December 7th train, right?
2019.
Yeah.
Man, that is awesome. Well, Thomas, I really appreciate your time with this. This actually leveled me up, so you can invoice me for your time because I'm leveled up right now. Totally cool. Just make sure I get like, I don't know, the MacroMillionaire discount. That would be nice.
Sure thing.
No, thanks a lot, Thomas, man. I really appreciate this.
Well, anytime.